can't believe someone just 2 years older than me is getting married! And you just met, too!
Yeah, I honestly didn't see something like this coming myself.
One thing I've always appreciated about video games is how developers are constantly trying new things and innovating. Whether it's moving a beloved franchise from 2D to 3D, or experimenting with new art styles, game developers are always trying to push the boundaries of what we expect. Enter Time and Eternity, originally published by Bandai Namco in Japan and by NAS America in the West. This game tried to combine two of Japan's most beloved entertainment mediums, anime and video games. And it kind of worked. I mean, the characters are all hand-drawn like an anime, and it is a video game, so mission accomplished, right? Oh my god, what happened? Time and Eternity looked nice enough, and the combat seems pretty cool. How did this turn into such a disaster? Well, let's take a look at the game.
Maybe she was just trying to upset you.
I really hope you're right.
So you're this blue-haired guy, kind of? I mean, the game asks you to name him, but you don't really play as him. I'll explain in a minute. Then there's all this talk about getting married, weddings, and awkward innuendo about sex. Yeah, it gets kinda weird.
I wish we could just do it right now. You feel the same way, right? Or is it just me?
Yeah, why wouldn't I want to do it?
Premarital interactions are totally off limits! You should know better, Toki!
Then eventually it gets to the wedding day. Everything's glorious. Your bride, Toki, looks beautiful, perfect as can be. What could possibly go wrong? Except ninjas!
Go ninja, go ninja, go!
Yep, the wedding literally gets crashed by ninjas. And then they stab you. By the way, this happens in the first 10 minutes of the game, so don't worry, it's not really much of a spoiler. Okay, thanks, bye. And I love what happens next. This guy isn't worried about his bride being attacked or that he's, bleeding to death, but rather, here's what he has to say.
I'm 100% awesome right now. A total chick magnet.
Oh yeah, you're dying, your bride's in danger, but at least you look cool. Your bride Toki all of a sudden has her hair turned blonde and calls herself Toa. Not to give too much more of the plot away, but basically the best plan they come up with is to go back in time, prevent the assassination from occurring, and find out why it happened. The premise is fine enough, but delivered in kind of a boring way. Anytime after a major plot point, you'll come back to your house and have a little tea party, quite literally, with your gal pals and recap what just happened before venturing out again. It gets repetitive so fast and I got bored pretty quickly. I can actually say that about the game as a whole. Let me just break down the flow of this game. You'll have a tea party to talk about plot and decide where to go next, click your destination on this fun little menu, walk around these frankly kind of ugly hallway levels, maybe fight some battles, maybe get some chests, get to the orange plot thing, plot happens, and then repeat ad nauseum. I'm not even exaggerating, that's basically all Time and Eternity has to offer. But if the battles are fun, then it shouldn't really be a big deal, right? Well, you guessed it, the battles get really boring really fast too. Here's how they work. You get an attack button that you can basically spam to death, a block button to block, and the directional buttons allow you to dodge or change your distance from your enemy. At first it seems fun enough, it's all in real time, the sound effects are cool, it feels pretty satisfying to dodge at just the right time. But you'll quickly come to realize that this is basically all there is to the battle system. Sure, you'll learn a new spell or two here and there, but it takes forever to get them. Some of the harder enemies just take way too much damage or have weird attack patterns too, like this stingray thing here. Now I've been ripping into this game pretty hard, but I actually think the concept of combining anime and video games is a cool one. I have to say that the soundtrack is surprisingly good. Taken out of the context of the game, it's really enjoyable. Definitely check it out if you're a collector or, just listen to it on YouTube. But clearly Time and Eternity has some things to work on. So I've decided to put together a short list of things to help improve games like this in the future. Number one would be some better gameplay. Time and Eternity has a basic cycle that I mentioned before that gets old really fast. These kinds of games would need more things to do or have the things in the game be more fun. Yes, there are side quests, but they're simple fetch quests or kill a boss monster. Not fun. There's some promise here, but just tweak it a bit to make the game more fun. Number two is better characters. You can have the most recycled or basic plot, but if you have well-written characters, it makes the whole experience enjoyable and interesting. Take The Last of Us, for example. How many post-apocalyptic games are out there? About 1 million. But The Last of Us has some amazing characters that make for a compelling plot. Time and Eternity has a bunch of cute girls, a handful of boring side characters, and then there's this guy that's supposed to be Spanish or something. He randomly tosses in Spanish words here and there and has a tiny accent. Not sure what they were going for here, but it's not sold very well. And number 3 would be production value. Time and Eternity functions and is a working game, but it's pretty bland. How many times are they going to reuse the same animations over and over? Why are the towns a series of menus instead of a real town I can actually explore? How come I've only seen 4 enemy types, some of which are just color swaps 5 hours into the game? Why are field areas so empty and boring to explore? Look at the Naruto games, for example. They look just like the show, but also have an interesting story and fun gameplay. Not to mention some great production values. That's how you do it. So you might be asking yourself why I'm looking at a 7-month-old game now. As I was looking at the year ahead, there are a ton of great RPGs coming out, and I wanted to see if Time and Eternity truly was the worst JRPG ever, as some have claimed it to be. Well, is it? It's definitely not the best JRPG by any means. Combat gets old quick, the story is boring, environments are beyond uninspired, and the game on a whole has a serious lack of polish, but worst JRPG ever?
I don't think so, Tim.
The art is pretty nice looking and combat has some potential. I do want to applaud the developers for trying something new though. Sometimes we get something amazing, other times a failed experiment. And while Time and Eternity will go down as a failed experiment, I feel like there's room for anime and video games to cross over again someday in the future.
A total chick magnet.
This is so dumb.
Huh?
What's up everyone, thank you so much for watching my review on Time and Eternity, and I hope you realize I was having just a little fun with this one. It's not the worst game, definitely not the best game, but I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, be sure to like the video, it really helps me out with spreading the word and lets me know if I'm doing a good job with these videos. Now if you missed my last 2 videos, I did a review on Puppeteer over here, you can click that, definitely an underrated game you should check out. And over here I've got my demo impressions from Lightning Returns Final Fantasy XIII, which really surprised me, so make sure you check that one out. If this is your first time watching one of my videos and you haven't subscribed yet, definitely click over here. I try to do weekly videos now. I'm getting back on a schedule, so there will definitely be more stuff coming soon. And if you missed this, you don't want to miss this video. It's by my buddies Greg from Arcade Impossible and Chris from NES Complex. They did a little parody on the Game Chasers and Retro Liberty and just the whole retro game hunting video genre. It's hilarious. I've seen it about 4 or 5 times already, and I was laughing the whole time. Definitely click it and go check it out. You'll really enjoy it. And thanks once again for watching, everyone, and we'll see you next time.